Hello, I'm Dr. Harper. This video is an Operations Management BANA3000 Section E01 Spring 2021, and this is going over the syllabus. So let's bring up the syllabus. So in the syllabus, this listing here is an 8-week online course. I'm the instructor, and this course description comes right out of the catalog, and I start with a schedule outline. And here are the topics, like March 15th, the week of March 15th. It's an asynchronous course. In other words, through each week from the welcome video that I've already talked about, each week you have a lecture, a video lecture with support for either a Word file or Excel file, and you have homework. And you have homework due every single week at the beginning here. And so here's the definitions of terms. Here's the forecasting, aggregate planning, inventory, manufacturing resource planning, and scheduling. And those are the 6 topics that I'll cover in this introductory course in operations to get used to operations. So each week you'll have a lecture at the beginning, download the homework questions, get the answers, submit the homework before Sunday, 11:59 p.m., and no late assignments are accepted. I'm very strict with that. So make sure you get the assignment done earlier that week, submitted, and everything's fine. And I'll even say in the syllabus here, down I'll allude to this, but I'll state it up front. Submit your homework through Canvas. But if there's a problem with Canvas, it's hard to get it, or for some reason you clicked in and clicked out and you can't submit it, then submit your answers. There's 10 answers. Submit them by email. So minimize email, either through email or submit them through Canvas messaging, but somehow get them to me. Submit them through through Canvas because it's easier to grade, and you'll have all the answers right there. It's much easier and efficient. But if you can't, then go ahead and get them to me somehow. As long as I get them, their date and time stamped, they're on time, on or before the due date and time, then I'll accept them, okay, as long as I get them on time. If they're after that, I will not accept it. So the no late assignments is fairly strict, okay. At the end of the course, we have an exam and an individual project report. And notice at the beginning on May 3rd, I'll have videos on explaining the exam, going an exam review guide, explaining the instructions on the videos, on the project reports. I'll have a video explaining that and instructions and a study guide on the exam and the project. But notice, beginning May 3rd here, after scheduling, both of these are due at the end of the course. So you'll have 2 weeks here to do either the exam, which is 60 minutes, 20 questions, or the actual project report. Both of those are together. It's asynchronous, but what is strict is it has to be done by the end of the course, which is Saturday, May 15th, on or before 11:59 p.m. on Saturday. So make sure that you submit them, because one thing I'm very strict on, nothing is considered after the end of the course. So make sure everything gets done by the end of the course. Okay, grading. Your grades are based solely on the percentage of grade measured performance according to the table below. And grades are not negotiated, and the percentage is determined from the points earned out of the points possible. In other words, here we have 6 homework assignments, 10 points each. 1 project is 20 points, 1 exam is 20 points. That's 100 points. Well, depending on how much you earn, divide the total possible, that percentage is compared over here in this table, will relate to your letter grade. And notice in the letter grade, there are no plus and minuses. It's just an A, B, C, D, F. And this is the description that they give us. Anyway, but the A, B, C, D, F comes from being able to have those percentages as we go through the course. And so 60% of your grade is going to be your homework. And in the homework, I will work through these problems. You can have discussion. We'll talk about that in just a second. The project here is 20 points. That's 2-letter grades. The exam is 20 points. That's 2-letter grades. So all of this comprises 100% of your letter grade. And so the last 2 weeks of it is 40% of your grade. So by the time you have 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, by the time you get to here, you only have 60% of your grade. So 40% of your grade is the last 2 weeks of the course. Well, there's where you understand the material and you begin to demonstrate and also validate that you know this material. You can take an exam, you can do a project, you can do it at the very end of the course. Okay. Now, as far as rounding is concerned, notice no plus minus grades. 0.5% is rounded up. When you calculate these percentages, this rounding is true not only for grading, it's also true for the homework and the exams and everything, and that is, suppose you had 89.5%. That 89.5% is rounded up to 90, which is an A. If you had 89.4%, that's rounded down to 89, which is a B. And I state that here below in the syllabus. Okay, brief summary. Required for each topic. You read the text, you have the lecture notes, you watch the videos, and sometimes I'll have a video for the lecture notes. Sometimes are Word files, sometimes are Excel files, sometimes are both, sometimes are one or the other. Download the homework questions on Canvas. Work the homework questions offline. And for communication, use the question and answer discussion on Canvas and submit your answers through Canvas by the due date and time. No late homework is accepted. Now that is the workflow that I am proposing every week. Now that's asynchronous within the week, but it's synchronous in that it has to be submitted at the end of that week. And so you can plan every week, and you have these resources right there in Canvas. Okay, each homework question is over one topic. 10 questions, 1 point per question. The exam is over all 6 topics. 20 multiple choice questions, 1 point per question, 60 minutes. Individual project report is due online. No submissions accepted after the end of the course. And again, nothing is considered after the end of the course. Okay, so there's an overview of the course and the syllabus, the very first page. And this is our schedule. But now the rest of the syllabus is going through the policies and procedures. First of all, the required textbooks is a PDF on Canvas. The required Canvas is where you upload and download questions and answers. You download the homework, you upload the homework questions, you take the exam, you submit everything up and down. Okay. The course structure here contains online material, reading material, homework assignments, exam, and a project. The course grade, we've already mentioned that, is based solely on your percentages on what you earn. Here is the rounding conventions, and the material in the prerequisite courses, the material in the prerequisite courses is required before taking this course. Now, the way I interpret prerequisite material is that I'm not going to go over the prerequisite material if you don't understand it, if you don't remember. That's not part of the course. So it's one, you've had the course, but coming into this course, you should know that material coming into the course. I'm not going to go back and reteach it. On the other hand, if you don't remember it, and sometimes that happens, it's been a while, you didn't get it then, you don't understand it. If you need help, I will certainly help you with prerequisite material. But what I'm saying here, it's not part of the course. It's not going to be part of the lecture. But if you need help with a Q&A or office hours, then I will certainly help you. Okay. The answers and points earned for each assignment will be posted on Canvas throughout the course. So you see your grades posted timely. When it's graded, I'll post the answers. You see what your grades are. Now, the course grade will not be posted on Canvas, but reported to the registrar. So you'll get that like 1 to 2 days after the end of the course. You'll see what your letter grade is. But you pretty much know what that letter grade is before I submit it to the registrar, because all the grades will be posted on Canvas. And so if you take the exam and you do the project and it's at the end of the course, you may not see that until after you've submitted it. And so you'll see that on a Sunday after the Saturday when it's over with. But then I'll post all those grades then on Sunday and Monday. You'll have the course grades through Canvas. Collaboration. Although collaboration is encouraged throughout this course to learn the material, each student is required to submit original work. No collaboration is allowed on exams. I'll say that over and over again. No collaboration is allowed on exams. Only submit originally composed individual project work. So collaboration, what I mean by that is use the question and answer on your homework. Say, here's what I got, what did you get? And you guys can share answers, share Excel spreadsheets, because we'll be using Excel a lot in here. And here's what I did, is it right or not? And so work together. Now, as far as asking me questions, I will certainly answer your questions, and that's perfectly fine. But if I feel a question should be part of the question and answer, I'll say this is really a part of question and answer, Q&A, because the students can answer that probably as well or better than I can. And so I may go ahead and answer it, but I'll post it, I'll take that and put it on Q&A. Use Q&A first, and then use me as a backup. Here's discussion on Q&A, and I will visit that, the question and answer module, and then I will answer accordingly. Okay. Now, collaboration is responsibility of every student. In other words, I don't grade collaboration or discussions. It's up to you. You're responsible for your education. I'm bringing things to the table. You bring things to the table, and you have to find out what the right workflow is for you. Now, as far as Q&A is concerned, let's back up. Let's bring in Canvas, and let's go to the first material here. And notice down here, here's the Q&A for this topic, which is definitions. Okay, so for the Q&A, you click the Q&A link. It goes right to the discussion. And right here, you can submit questions, submit answers. I've opened up. You can actually submit your work that's being done. You can submit your Excel spreadsheets. What did I do wrong? This kind of thing. Here's what I did. People can copy it. Work together. Work together. But the whole point of this is learning, not copying from other one. But you can copy it and learn it. But submit your answers and do your work. Take your exam and your report. Okay. And so that's going to be in every module every week. Okay. And here you can download the definitions, download the Excel, download and watch the video here, download the homework and answer the homework, and there's the textbook. And so the textbook is going to be online. Okay, let's go back to the syllabus. Communication. Again, communication is through Q&A. In the event that Canvas messaging or email are used for communication for me about the course material, I will refer those communications to the Q&A Canvas discussion for other students to benefit from your answers or even to answer it better than I would. Only use email or Canvas messaging for personal communications, like you're talking to me, not to the class. And so in other words, use the email and Canvas for only personal communications. And that's not the material. Since the email has been unreliable in the past, for example, a lot of times I never receive the email because you email it to the wrong person. Use email only when necessary. Do not rely on email as primary communication. Okay, use the Q&A for primary communications. But should you email be necessary for personal communications, and some that's true, then use this particular email address and include BANA3000 section E01. So I'll know what section you're in. That's going to be important because I have more than one section. Make sure that I know what section you're in, and it's this course. The homework. I've already talked about the homework assignments in the welcome video, but make sure you read this very carefully. You download the questions, get your answers, which are all multiple choice, A, B, B, A, B, C, D, and then go into Canvas and submit them. Okay? And then you only have 60 minutes to submit them, but be very careful that you submit it by the due date and time, because the due date and time in Canvas is honored above the 60 minutes. So if it's 1 minute before 11:59, it'll close it off and you won't submit your answers. Okay, the exam is online. I will post an exam study guide the week before. In other words, if we go back to the syllabus up here, which I've already mentioned, on May 3rd, I will post a video for an exam study guide. Here's how to study for it. Here's the kind of questions. Here's how to prepare. And also the project report. I'll have another video for that. Okay, and so make sure that you understand and go over those videos. But each student must take their own exam. No collaboration is allowed. It's an on Canvas, open, multiple choice, timed. It's open book, open notes. Okay, it's designed for evaluation. And what I mean by design for evaluation is I'm going to design this to only ask you things you should know. I don't want to ask you things. I don't consider an exam for learning. It's more for validation that you do know the material. So be very careful to answer questions that you should know. Okay, collaboration is not allowed. Collaboration is cheating and represents academic dishonesty. If academic dishonesty occurs on an exam, the student will receive a 0 for the exam, and any incident may be reported to the Internal Affairs Committee of the Business School at the University of Colorado, Denver for further action. No collaboration. For the exam, no material other than course material is allowed. For example, getting material from other places, only use the material in this course. No communication devices such as cell phones or laptops for external communications are allowed. No help from another person, physically, remotely, or even virtually, is allowed. Each student is required to take their own exam from their own knowledge of the material learned from the course. No exam results in a 0 for the exam, and no exam will be considered after the end of the course. Okay, next is the projects. Now these individual projects, each student is required to submit an originally composed individual project. No work is accepted after the end of the course, and each student must perform their own work and submit their own project. And submit the project as a PDF through Canvas. Now, you can certainly collaborate. And how do I work this? How do I do this? But each student will write and submit their own writing. Nobody writes it for you. Don't copy from someone else. You write your own report. Now you can talk to other people to get ideas, but you write your own report. There are 2 options for your individual project report. 1, select one of the assignment memos provided during the course, solve the problem, and present the solution in one PDF consisting of 3 pages. So during the course, on the video, when I talk about it, I will also have a Word file which will have different memos. And I'll talk about that in the instructions for the project. And I'll talk about the first page is the copying the assignment memo that presents the request that is provided. The second page of the response is a response memo. You respond to the request to the party requesting the work. And the third page is a technical memo outlining the technical approach. Both response and technical memos must be limited to 1 page. Now, I have a second option. Now, option 2 is to conduct research on an aspect of a topic related to this course and submit a 3-page report. Now, this option is provided for those students that wish to extend the material in the course or apply the material to a case study in which they are familiar. And let me stop right here and say, sometimes in this course I got people who are working in a company. They say, I want to learn more about this. I want to have a case study in my course, in my company. This course applied to the company that I'm working for. They want to have their own project, and I'm allowing that. A 3-page report to say, here's what I'm looking at, here's what I'm analyzing, and here's where I'm going further. However, there are 3 conditions, and I even a list of potential research topics will be provided in my website, mdharp.com. There are 3 conditions for the individual project report research topic based on this option. 1, a research topic related to the material in this course, not a subject from another discipline. I want to do a subject in marketing. No, you can't do it in operations. It has to be operations. I want to do something in finance or management. No, it has to be operations. 2, a research topic beyond material covered in this course. Not the same material presented in this course, but broader or deeper. In other words, don't redo a lecture. Take a lecture and maybe go deeper. Maybe do things I don't cover. So it has to be something more than this course. Don't just redo the course. A research topic that is of interest to you. This is the most important. Something you're interested in. If you're interested in it, you'll probably do a good job in it, okay? And the list that I provide you on the website represents suggested resources for a research topic. You don't have to do them. You can do something that's not there. Now, the originally composed individual report for either option must be 3 pages, must demonstrate the student's knowledge and ability to effectively communicate the knowledge appropriate for a business environment. Each individual project report must be unique. Okay, for each of these options, you get 3 pages. Submit the originally composed individual report through Canvas as a PDF file on or before the due date and time. No late reports are accepted. I'm very strict with the no late reports. Each report may only be submitted once, may only be submitted as a complete report, and must be submitted by the due date and time. A report not submitted has a grade of 0. That's 2 letter grades. Each student is required to submit original material for their individual report. Don't cut and paste, don't copy. It's your material, original report written by you. I want to see what you are doing, not what someone else did. Although a collaboration is encouraged to conduct research, collaboration does not include copying from another student or allowing a student to copy from you on individual work that is submitted. If someone says, "Can I see what you do?" say no. But we can talk about it. You can talk about it. Collaboration is talking and sharing and discussing. It's not showing them what you've written or showing them what you're going to write. You can talk about it and share information, but the writing is only yours and no one else's but yours. I'm trying to be very clear with that because I'm strict with that. If I get reports coming in that's same, then I'll count off. I might not even count it at all. And I'll report it as academic dishonesty. So be very careful with that. General policies. Again, nothing considered after the end of the course. Submission of grades are only through Canvas, but here I say submit homework assignments and individual project reports through Canvas on or before the due date and time. An assignment not received when due, either through Canvas or by email, and let me stop there, email, Canvas messaging, somehow I'm getting that report, okay, with an on-time due date and time stamp. If I get it, I'll accept it and grade it. But if I don't get it, it has a grade of 0. No late assignments are accepted. Grades. The grades here on everything will be posted on Canvas except the course grade. No plus-minus grades on your course grade. That's given to the registrar. I've already mentioned that. Academic dishonesty, if it occurs, you get a 0, and I may report it. And I have done that before, and it goes on your record. Okay, conduct. The conduct, strict adherence to the code of conduct as stated in the catalog, is expected by everyone at all times. This length is simply the code of conduct for everybody. On campus, virtually, in person, remotely, it doesn't matter. It's for students, faculty, staff, even visitors on campus. University information, procedures, policies that govern the university environment can be found through Human Resources. Now this click right here, this link goes to Human Resources. And there's a lot of information there. And this is what will be followed at the university at CU. FERPA, the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, is required by law to be followed by all university personnel, which includes faculty. So I'm not going to be giving your grades to people just because they say, I'm their friend. You can't see their grades. I'm your parent. If you're an adult, I can't see that. I can't give it to an adult. I can't give it to a parent. I can't unless you authorize that. If you authorize it, then you give it to them. I'll give them to you. Okay, that's FERPA. Any current or potential indications of violation of verbal or physical disruption or intimidation or any kind of abuse can be reported to the campus assessment, response, and evaluation team. That link is to report incidences, anything, current, potential, in the future, in the past. Here's where you report things. Any incident of violent or disruptive behavior can be reported to the Internal Affairs Committee of the Business School for further action. Conduct also includes etiquette that is respectful to people, respectful to the facilities, and respectful to the institution. Respect. And the key there is respect. Our commitment expectations, this is to let students know that upfront that faculty policies state that courses in the business school should require of their student a workload that enhances quality education is consistent with the amount of academic credit hours for the course. This course requires work submitted on a regular basis, and this requires work. People start complaining. I spend an hour today on this. It's a 3-hour course. Faculty policies in the past have stated with a 3-hour course, you should spend anywhere from 3 to 5 times the hour outside of class. That's 6 to 15 hours. Well, 3 to 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 6 to 12 hours outside of class. So somewhere around 5 to 10 hours outside of class for this course every week during this course, learning the material. So if you're complaining about 1 to 2 hours or 3 hours, that's below the average. So the commitment to this course is work that's done throughout the semester. Policy on ads, drops, and incomplete grades. I generally do not apply any ads. I won't add anyone to the course once it's started. Sometimes there's special cases, but I do not approve drops after the end of the course. Toward the end, I will, but after the end, that last 2 weeks, the course is over. Once you've submitted everything, I'm not going to drop you because you've already submitted it. No incomplete grades are given. I don't. I haven't in the past. I do not, and I will not. The final statement. Policies in the syllabus apply to every student. What I mean by that, let me enlarge this so you can see it a little bit better. What I mean by that is that every student will have this syllabus applied equally. I will not violate, although I may consider special circumstances during the course, standards will never be compromised. And let me just bold that. All work must be done during the semester according to the syllabus. And let me bold that. Now, what I mean by this is from time to time, there are special circumstances. Sometimes people need some extra time on the exam or something. You can go through the learning Center for Learning Assistance, and I'll give extra time, okay? But the standards will not be lowered, and the work must be done during the semester, during this course, up until, in this course, is May 15th. It has to be done by then. Nothing is extended beyond the course. Everything is done during the course. Okay. Furthermore, any action taken by me that may be considered to vary from these policies for some students is not cause to eliminate or alter any student's responsibility to adhere to all the requirements of the course or to prevent my action in enforcing the policies in the course to every student. In other words, to say, well, you gave them extra time because they're allowed extra time through procedures, through policies. You didn't give me extra time, so I'm not doing it. Well, then you get a 0. That's not fair. Yes, it is fair. It's according to the policies within the syllabus, within this course. This policies apply to every student. And just because you think they shouldn't, that doesn't mean they don't, they do. And I do this for 2 reasons. 1, students who feel like they should have rules apply to them, which is different than other students, I'm not going to do that. 2, the people who follow the rules can be assured that everyone else is going to follow the rules. And I'll make sure of that. So everyone is going to be equal and equitable across the board. And I'll try very hard to do that throughout this course. Now, one thing I've mentioned, but I want to emphasize, is that we're going to be using Excel a lot in this course, and you'll see that at the very beginning. And so the Excel spreadsheets, which I've already mentioned, I will provide Excel spreadsheets. I'll work through the Excel spreadsheets. If you have any questions, I'll certainly help you with working in Excel. 1, you'll understand operations. 2, you'll understand the quantitative elements of operations. And 3, you'll come out with a skill of Excel. Okay, and that's a good skill to have, especially in business, no matter where you go and what you do. That's all I have for the syllabus. That's all I have for this overview of the syllabus and overview of the course. I hope I've covered everything enough. I hope this helps. Between now and the next time I see you online, be very careful out there. Be safe. Don't take anything for granted. Stay healthy and keep learning. Take care.